powerful. Utkatasana, Warrior 1, Warrior 2, and Warrior 3 are really helpful in keeping your back safe and back bending, and also establish that really firm foundation for all types of back bending. The modification to use for students to have those tighter ankles, and again, especially to keep gaining that strength in the chest is very nice. Those arms up a little bit higher. Right, just creating that little bit of a gap, and that squeezing action will help to settle the shoulders down and back. Good. And so thank you so much. I'll move that back a little bit further. Yes, sitting back. So this is a pretty nice action. What I'm getting at, her shoulders are a little bit tight. I would not give her this modification, but I think for Corey, your shoulders are kind of funky. And Randy, this is another option if like you're in the flow, is to actually interlace the fingers and then press the palms up towards the ceiling, straightening the arms and drawing the shoulders down the back. It gets into the shoulders a little bit differently. You want to have this kind of like chest. It's a little more action in front of the chest than in front of the body. Good. Awesome. Yes, very nice. So again, this is a good modification for the, actually, and I think your shoulders and chest are quite tight, right? Yeah? Why don't you come up? Thank you so much, though. There, she's pretty good, too. All right. This is pretty good. What I'm going to do is try it. Interlace those fingers. Palms up. Very nice. Now, maybe, as another option, a way to stretch the back of the neck is to actually bring the chin to the chest. Now you have this kind of like two opposing forces. Chin down, palms stretching upwards, knees together, very nice. And again, this could be a good option for people who have tighter chest and shoulders. Beautiful. Exhale. Very nice. Thank you so much. Okay, so having the heels, you know, if I was going heel to heel alignment, trying to work Warrior 1 and bringing this hip forward, it'd be really difficult for me to actually get that movement forward, the stretch through the hip flexor and the psoas on this left side. Right, there's nothing essentially going into a forward bend. These two opposite directions constantly kind of playing against one another. There's lots of tension there. Right, this is where a mobile bunda really is going to come to stabilize those joints. Okay, so when you think about Warrior 1, that's some of the best actions to take. Warrior 2 with crescent pose, Anjaneyasana as well. Just kind of squeezing everything towards one another. Get the proper rotation and alignment of the shoulders and chest. The other option, okay? Yeah, you'll see a lot of students, like as they ease up, like they almost lean back into a back bend. You're doing pretty good, yeah. So this will oftentimes happen, but really want to exhibit lots of power in this posture, right?
So more like straight up.
Straight up, yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. There's two big straps of muscles that move from basically the occipitals all the way down to the base of the spine. They're basic back-bending muscles. Right, as we bring that back, it's not like we're just letting the head drop back. We're going to engage those muscles, almost peel right, the head back with this movement upward through the throat. If there's any like issues with the neck, I think in Anasara they can bring the ears back, so it's still like this kind of like length in the back of the neck. Ultimately, like a lot of the same actions there. You know, getting the strength or contracting. Access the muscles of the bottom third of the trapezius to pull the shoulder blades down the back. Very nice. Yes, very nice. Yes, good. You can even feel it grow softer there. So just that subtle shift, right? You have to isolate this muscle, this big muscle, right? You have to isolate just the bottom third of it to get that action. Good, thank you so much.
And then unflip up when I was doing that, like try to shape it.
Yes. And our head will be back normally. Yes. This is a good place to be. You can see his knees are bent just a little bit, which is nice. Those of you who have your knees bent, there's like this very fine line that you've got to travel between pulling with the arms, keeping the belly close to the thighs. If the knees, of course, bent at whatever angle, then there's a bit of resistance. The tailbone wants to keep lifting up towards the ceiling, so his legs ultimately continue to straighten and straighten and straighten. Right, but slowly, right, to really balance that tightrope there, you know. This way you continue advancing the posture. So if you have your legs straight and you don't quite get your belly close to the thighs, it's just best to bend the knees for a while, right? Very nice. His chin's going to be to his chest, right? The back of the neck is nice and long. Very nice. This is good here. And usually if you want to access like higher up on the hamstring, we usually get into the belly of the hamstring in the pose. Generally, if the knees are straighter, if you rock forward into the pose, you'll feel the hamstrings begin to stretch closer to the origin of those hamstrings. Up a little bit higher, closer to the hips. Okay. The action, of course, inhaling halfway up, lengthen out. Exhale, hands to hips. And then inhale, come up and stay. Great, thank you. Shins a little bit. It'll help kind of broaden the upper back a little bit and begin to create that action for you. So generally, we're trying to get that hip, the lifted leg hip even with the standing leg hip. Our tendency is to lean to the standing leg, but if you can really access the labunda and the muscles of the inner thigh. Very nice, shoulders back. Good, very nice. So chest opens up. Right, we begin to kind of pull. The same thing's going to happen during standing split. You're really going to pull from the inner thigh of that lifted leg. And if we're pulling too much from just like the hamstrings alone, the hips will just begin to kind of peel over. Right, that lifted leg hip will begin to lift up too much. Right? Lifting from here. Very nice.